Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Mashangu and I'm living with a disorder called Cynophobia. Cynophobia is an extreme fear of dogs. People with this disorder go out of their way to avoid dogs. The disorder affects the old, the young, of any race. It doesn't discriminate. It depends on what triggered the disorder. So I'm going to share with you what triggered me to have this disorder. People acquire this condition or the disorder because after they had a scary encounter with dogs. I've been chased by dogs, threatened to bite me. The terrifying memories was when one of my peers was bitten badly by a dog on my watch. It was so scary. For me, I've been chased by the dogs several times, but fortunately, they never bite me. So maybe they wanted to play with me and then I ran away, but now I cannot come near the dog. So what happened to me is, one day, let me tell you the area where I lived. I lived during, it was during the back then, during the apartheid time, So during that time, we were segregated from the whites. The blacks were living on one side and the blacks on the one side. The whites on one side, the blacks on one side. And then we were not mixing, So for us, our township, we didn't have toilets, flushing toilets anyway. We had toilets, but it was a bucket toilets. We didn't have electricity. We didn't have like water inside the yard where you live. It was only on the street where people, it was like a common place where we used to get water. But there were taps every street. So there was no problem with water. We used to, for me, even in my house, it was just in front. That center, it was in front of our house. So that is why we didn't even suffer. But, water was not scarce. It was not a scarce resource for us, though it was not inside our yard. So because we didn't have electricity, how are we going to cook? How are we going to keep ourselves warm during winter, though it was not a hot place? So for the wood, it's either you buy the wood, and then you find that it was expensive for us because my mother was not earning enough money to pay the rent, also to buy wood, And then on the white areas, they had electricity, they had water inside their houses, they had flushing toilets. For us, we didn't have. But for us, it was normal anyway. We were living a normal life. There was no problem. So we were used to that situation. So one day, to get the wood, we used to go and fetch wood. And then it was a long distance, And we leave early in the morning when we go and fetch wood, like 3, 4, or somewhere 3 and 4 early in the morning. And then we used to fetch this wood during, not after school. It was during holidays or weekends, especially Saturday. It was our day to go and fetch wood. So now we must get enough. The strong wood is a long distance to get. So the road was to pass through the white area. There was another road, but it was a very long drive. And then also it was so we cannot go as kids or women in that area, because you know anything can happen to us. And it was it was a very long drive. And then the shortest was to pass through the white area. So we used to pass there by the white area and then go to like the white residence to go and fetch wood. So one day we went and then we met some girls. We were like 4 or 5, and then we met some girls we don't know. Anyway, we don't know them. We met them. They were like 2 or 3, and then we went together, and then we went and fetched wood. We managed to get strongest wood and then come. You know, I'll show you, if I have a picture, I'll show you how we used to carry this wood on our head. And then we'll come back home. Coming back, it was the same road where we went through. And then coming home, we passed through this residence, the white residence, and there were silly boys in one of the residence, you know. When we were passing there, and then they started to mock us and then laughing at us, and then but we didn't care. We just look at them and then continue to walk. And then later on, they just want to do something to us. What they did, they opened the gates, and then there were dogs. They were having dogs, and then they opened the gates, and then they said, "Sir." You know, in South Africa, once you say "sir" to the dog, most of the dogs anyway, I don't know if it's all the dogs around the area, but during that time, for me, I know that once you say "sir," you are having dogs and say "sir," and the people are passing, they will run after you, these dogs. They chased us. They opened the gates and they chased us. You know, we throw our hard work, the wood, on the floor, and then we ran. We ran for our lives. And then one girl was caught by these dogs. You know, she was beaten badly by those dogs. And then it was not the girls from where, it was not those that I came with from my same area. That girl was screaming, and nobody was helping. And the boys were standing and laughing at her, watching the dogs biting her. When I look at there, and then if I look back, I found that the girl was in a pool of blood. She was covered with blood. It was so scary. It was so scary. Now, when I talk about it, I'm emotional, because I think it's still happening now. I think it's still, it's still happening now. I wonder what happened to that girl. For us, I managed to take I managed to get a way of running far from the dogs. When I ran for my life, I'm telling you, I ran. I don't know what happened to all of us, but it was only that girl that was beaten. But I've seen the blood on her body, and then she was screaming for help, and nobody was helping her. And then we ran for our lives. I reached home, and then I was breathless. I couldn't talk. You know, my mother asked what happened. I couldn't talk. You know, I was breathless. So she thought maybe somebody maybe was chasing us, like men, or those bad men or bad people were running after us. So now she wanted to know, because my mother, she was not afraid of many people to fight. So now I just tell her, it's the dogs. The dogs, what happened to the dogs? The dogs, the dogs. I'll tell you, Mama, I'll tell you. And then what happened to your wood? We threw the wood away because the dogs were chasing us. And then one of us was even beaten badly. I don't even know what happened to that girl. Do you know that girl, so that we go and see her? I said, I don't even know her. I don't know where she was coming from, you know. And anyway, there were no news anywhere. There was no, I mean, during that time, you know, no social media, nothing. We don't know what happened. For me, really, I don't happen. I was still 10, 11, 12, somewhere there, you know. I don't know what happened to her, that girl, up to today. I wish I know what happened. I was going to, whether she died because of bleeding, whether she was alive. And during that time, nothing was going to happen. Whether you go and report, they will think that you were passing there because you were stealing. So that is why the dogs chased you. So it was no point that you go and report. No, nothing was going to happen, unless if it was a white reporting the black, then something was going to happen at that time during those era. I know, I lived during that time, you know, I know. So it was so scary for me. Now I have that disorder through that experience, so it's not going away. If I see a dog, it reminds me of that girl that was beaten. It reminds me, you know, I have those flashbacks, you know. I don't even want to come near the dog. And then once I visit the family, any family, I first call, do you have dogs? If they say yes, no, I'm not coming. It's either, if it's very important, we'll have to meet somewhere. If you come, let's say maybe on my way walking, and then I come across the dog, you know, I will have that anxiety feeling. I will, you know, scream. No, not screaming. I don't scream because the dog will follow me. I'm not screaming, but I'll feel like I want to scream. I will look away from the dog. I'm not coming. You know, I don't want to see that dog. I feel like this dog is coming to bite me. And then sometimes you find that those friendly dogs, you know, they'll come and then near you and then walk around you and jump. Oh my God, I feel now the lion is killing me. So I cannot. Now I'm 65 years. I don't think that I am going to I'm going to do what? I don't think that I'll manage to go to the therapy, and you know, I don't think so. And then no, for me it's too late to go for therapy. I should have gone long time when I was still young, or maybe middle age. I would be going there. But now at this old age, no, I cannot go for any therapy for the dogs because I'm still scared. I don't think that it will help me because of the vivid memories that I had. The memories that I had, it will not help me. I'm sorry. Yeah, you know. But for people who are still young, or even if they are old, and then they can go for therapy if they have disorder like the one that I have. They can go for therapy because the treatment is therapy and medicine, you know, depending on what causes the phobia. So that's cynophobia. For me, no. So if you have dogs in your house and then you want to invite me, please, I'm not coming. Or maybe you put them in the cage, then I'll come. But if not in the cage, I will not come to your house, because the dog will even bite me because of my behavior, of which is not good, you know. Maybe the dog is a friendly dog, but or maybe acting friendly. But for me, still have those memories of that dog that I know I cannot even talk now when I think of what happened during that time. I wish I know where is the boy, where is the girl. So now, people, this is my story. I don't know if you have an encounter, the same disorder or the same experience like I did. So if you had experience, just please share on the comments what was your experience. And then if you know that there's any help, and then accept, I don't know how, but if you think maybe something can help me, please comment. I'll take your advice. I'll try. Anyway, I'll try. You know, the worst part is my younger sister. She was about 30 something years old. She was pregnant, and she was bitten by the dog. It it was so terrible, just on her buttock, though, so it was just, triggering my memories, what happened to the girl. She received rabies vaccine for 6 months. She was telling me just now her experience also, because she never told me before, because I didn't know that she was bitten by the dog. But now she told me that, this is what happened to her also. So when she see the dogs, she don't come near the dogs also. She is very scared of those dogs. Like most of the dogs that I see around my area for now, I don't think like when I look at them, whether they were vaccinated or they are taken care of. It's just few people that I've seen around, that they're taking care of their dogs. Some, they don't take care of their dogs, meaning that they don't go for the vet to go for any checkups or any vaccinations. So I'm also scared of rabies, because rabies is also deadly. You get rabies, you might die. So I'm scared of those dogs. That's another thing that, it's aiding on my phobia. So, hey, it's very bad, I don't know. It's very bad. So now, yeah, anyway, the signs that somebody has got phobia, I just express them on my feeling, how I felt, because it was so scary, breathless, panic attacks, shivering. Some, they go to an extent of vomiting, nausea and vomiting. For me, I don't have those. What I have is anxiety, breathless. I'll be breathless when I see the dog. Even if it's a very friendly dog, to me, it's a dog. I see a lion. I see what happened before, what I experienced. What I experienced is so bad. Bye for now, and then I'll see you on my next topic.